24 hours on the clock. We will race until 4 p.m. Sunday as, for a century, the world's greatest endurance motor race once more gets underway here in the centre of France. 2 by 2 they will come, Porsche and Cadillac on an all-American front row. The Ferraris behind, Zinedine Zidane waves the tricolour. We wait for the lights to change, and they will storm along the straight and sweep right into the Porsche curves. Immediately, Laurens Vanthoor shuts the door on Sebastian Bourdais. Ferrari side by side in second. Very slow start from the number 12 Hertz Team Jota Porsche, and a Ferrari up to second place ahead of the Cadillac of Sebastian Bourdais, and that is car number 51, Antonio Giovinazzi. No, it is the 50 car of Niklas Nielsen. Very slow getaway from the number 12 car, but riding on board with Giovinazzi. He's in 4th place. Sebastian Bourdais in 3rd with the yellow-nosed Cadillac. 5th place, 6th place is the blue-nosed Cadillac. BMW behind, and Alpine and Hertz Team Jota squabbling in the midfield in our burgeoning 32-car hypercar class, 23-car hypercar class.
The Proton getting very close as well to Nico Müller, who we ride on board with now on the exit of Tetra Rouge, and the Jota in front. I think one of the Jotas I saw cut the corner around turn 3.
Well, there are the 2 gold Jota cars side by side, or nose to tail, 12 ahead of 38. There's the better of the 2 Toyotas. Number 8 moving up the order, and that is a change for 8th and 9th place. There's the Proton car, white with the green highlights. The red, white and blue is Isotta Fraschini. Great start from Jean-Carl Vernet. He's picked off 3 cars already. Vernet with the bit between his teeth on board with Pipo Derani, the 3rd caddy, the wheel and engineering car, and there's the number 7 Toyota. Coming from behind, there's the Peugeot on the dirt, down to the 2nd chicane on the Mulsanne straight. The first of the Lamborghinis is currently the green car in 11th place.
Yeah, so the Jota managed to hold on to that position as he was under attack from the 311 Whelen-sponsored Cadillac. And he's having another go here. They're side by side once again down towards the Mulsanne corner, and the Porsche is getting involved as well.
Number 35 Alpine, the driver complaining he can't see through the screen, but there's more changes. Cadillac ahead and Hertz Team Jota. Proton Porsche going around the outside. Number 4 Penske Porsche also trying to go through. Don't forget, that's the number 12 car. Will Stevens starting it. It has been built from a brand new shell over the last day and a half.
Great move around the outside, wasn't it, from Neil Janney? Very well planned, well executed, and you see the 2 of them side by side here. Car 50 gets into the lead into Indianapolis.
Cadillac and BMW side by side down to Indianapolis. The 15 BMW stays in front of the blue-nosed number 2 Cadillac. That is the battle for 6th place, and a great charge for the lead. There's the 15 car moving up the order. The 28 car Art car is down towards the tail of the field, and 2 yellow-nosed cars. The yellow-nosed Cadillac is number 3. There's the onboard view from number 2, so somebody else is losing a lot of oil because the number 2 caddy is in 7th place with Alex Lynn at the wheel.
Yeah, surprised to see the screen so dirty so early on. The first lap of the race is something you'd imagine at the end of the first stint or something, but yeah, that Team Jota car seems to be falling back just a little bit, doesn't it, at the moment? Let's hear from Giovinazzi.
Just be careful with the front right tires in the Porsche. Just be careful with the front right tires in the Porsche. You're doing good. Save some energy. We are well.
He's doing really well. Giovinazzi driving a real blinder at the moment, and he's through into the lead. So I don't know if that was, I don't know if he was allowed through there by Nielsen, but it looks like Nielsen is on the attack again. So I'd say that Giovinazzi's had a go down into Mulsanne, and Nielsen's back around the outside before Indianapolis. This is going to be tight.
This had better not go wrong for the 2 Ferrari drivers. Nick Nielsen on the outside sweeps around back into the lead. But Porsche, with 6 cars in the hunt, knew they had pace. The number 6 had been fastest of all in practice. An early problem for BMW number 15, spinning, not too much damage, but having to make it into the pit lane. Little bit of confusion adding to their dramas. First full round of fuel stops, and the Ferraris coming in nose to tail with the 83 car right behind them. So far, after pre-race rain, it had been dry, though cold and sunny. Everybody on appropriate dry weather tyres. The 2 Hertz Team Jota cars there, 50 released right into the path of the number 3 Cadillac. for which it would soon have a penalty. A rare error for American driver Ben Keating in his 10th Le Mans in his 9th different car. The IMSA LMP2 champion rescued from the gravel and able to continue. Heading towards the second hour of the race, and the number 50 Ferrari coming into the pit lane to serve its penalty for that unsafe release. 10 seconds stationary, but around 40 seconds lost in total. Not the only car in the pit lane at that stage, as the GT frontrunners also made their routine stops for fuel. Wipers on as rain swept into the circuit at the beginning of the second hour of the race. How hard would it be? Could they survive on dry weather slick tyres, or would wets be required? Opinions were split between the drivers. Toyota went early for wets, so too did the number 6 Porsche, but that left the 83 Ferrari out front.
Side by side for the race lead. Nicholas Nielsen has got the run, but he's on the outside line down to Mulsanne corner. Robert Kubica hangs on to it as they go into the kink before the corner, but you've got to be so careful here, Peter, because there are still wet patches around.
Nicholas Nielsen's got the cut back on him here.
So they run side by side, and there is traffic ahead. Who has got the most leaden right foot? Let's see. Nielsen's got the line on the inside. Kubica tries to stand his ground on the outside. They are absolutely toe-to-toe as they come towards us. The two Ferraris with the Porsche many laps down behind them. Nielsen's going to have the inside line for the next corner, the run up towards Indianapolis. But Robert Kubica is going to go and keep the lead round the outside. Fantastic racing between the two of them. And Robert Kubica, very brave indeed. He comes out in front. Fabulous racing. There, off the road, is that Frins in the BMW? That's coming into the Ford chicane.
I think that is a BMW,
It's
David.
the art car, isn't it?
The art
Robin?
car, yeah.
So Robin Frins, who we've just been talking about chasing after Kamui Kobayashi, has got it all wrong, as you can see. And
So he must have lost on the right-hander, and
Yeah.
he's clouted the end of the wall, hasn't he?
Thierry Tassin from WRT, not impressed at all. Adam Hardy, who is the chief engineer on the car, will be on the radio, no doubt, to the driver. And that's quite a hit into the tyres, isn't it? That would need to pit, certainly, but it will have to do a whole lap from there to get into the pits, which would be more time lost. And it's just a curb strike, isn't it, that's picked him up?
Snapped back on him. I think, you know, from what I've seen during testing and qualifying, the BMW is a very fast car, but it just looks edgy.
And trouble for the 77 Ford Mustang in GT3. Left front wheel not doing what the driver wanted, a broken steering rack. That is a long job to replace. The team set to with a will, but 2 hours later it remains in the garage and not quite ready to go back out on track yet. And no damage for this gravel trapping moment either for Danny Kvyat, leaving the pit lane, out of the pits, straight into the gravel in the number 63 Lamborghini. Trouble too for the number 19 car, also out of the pits and into the barriers at Tertre Rouge. Oh, Alpine facing the wrong way, 35 or 36. What colour are the mirrors? It's 35.
It's not facing the
No,
wrong way,
you're
it's
right.
smoking.
Yeah.
That is big trouble for the 35 car.
Well, they've had 2 endurance tests with the team, and that's Ferdi Habsburg jumping away. Is it red? No, it's green. You can see the green light inside.
I think that's done. Oh, that's gone in a big way.
Yeah. More trouble for Sarah Bovey in the Iron Dames Lamborghini. The car that was up to 3rd in the GT3 class was clattered in the Porsche curves by, ironically enough, the Porsche of Mathieu Jaminet. The Penske driver would later serve a penalty. Fortunately, Bovey was on her way with no major dramas shortly afterwards. But for the second Alpine hypercar, critical alarms in the cockpit and the end of the road. Once more, their new engine in their new car had had enough. And then rain arrived for the second time, once more scrambling the order. Straight in for wets, the number 83 car of the race leader. For those who stayed out on slicks, it was not easy going, as evidenced by the number 95 McLaren spinning at the Dunlop chicane.
There is 15 with massive damage at the front. Dries van Thor, for the 3rd time this weekend, has put the car off the road. That looks terminal, doesn't it?
3:55, 35.
Fire.
35 seconds slow. Yeah, that's the Duquesne engineering car. And that does not look like there's been any damage, but Is that going to be a full course yellow? Is that going to be a local yellow? Or is that potentially going to be a safety car?
4.7 seconds now the lead gap, with Ryo Hirakawa closing in on Robert Kubica, who is doomed to lose that lead with a penalty he must take very shortly. The trouble, it's the 46 car, it's Ahmed El-Hati. This is the car he shares with Valentino Rossi in the gravel, and this car was in a very good place. It was, I think, up in fifth place in GT3, but it's off the road.
Colin Brown's crowd strike by APR LMP2 car, though, lost a wheel having just left the pits. He was trying to creep back, feeling something was wrong with the car, but with only one-wheel drive, he ended his race on the Mulsanne straight in frustration. Trouble for Jack Aitken in the Whelen Engineering Cadillac in the hypercar category. Very slippery conditions as rain returned, first as light drizzle and then heavy rain. Halfway through the race, the safety cars were out and would remain so well into the dawn at Le Mans, as cars showed they were not quite as waterproof as their drivers might have hoped.
Oh, no. He's number 4 off the road, so that is from 17th place. Felipe Nasr, he's gone through the gravel.
I'll be surprised and impressed if he can get that car back to the pits, because that front right has been the thing that's taken the brunt of that force.
And Aston Martin is upside down. Safety car called, it's 27. It's the Heart of Racing entry. Daniel Mancinelli is upside down, and therefore safety car number 3 triggered, and the pit lane comes to life, because this is where you can win or lose time. Safety car deployed, and the team's ready for the next wave of pit stops.
I'm hearing that the driver is okay. Hopefully we'll hear the radio message soon. That's why we see the pit.
Peugeot in the gravel at Indianapolis, and to do that under the safety car is an absolute no-no as far as race control is concerned. It is Nico Müller at the wheel of it, the Swiss driver.
He saw the car in front of him twitch a bit, didn't he?
Or there's something on the inside of that circuit.
Well, number 3 Cadillac has now stopped on the Mulsanne straight, so just as we were getting ready to go racing once more, there's another car stranded.
Estra on softs, Pierre Guidi on hards. They're a stint newer, but it's a different tyre, and is that now making the difference as Pierre Guidi got more under him with the medium than Estra has with a tired soft?
Yeah, well, listen to what James Gallardo had said there in the interview just before. His medium tyres, he felt they were the quickest tyre if you could switch them on. So I think what we're seeing here is the temperatures coming up, track temps coming up to the point where they're just about working the medium, and that could be the best tyre to be on in the drive for the rest of the race.
2 to 3 seconds faster than anyone the last lap.
Estra made a small mistake going through Indianapolis. That allowed Pierre Guidi to make the run on him down towards Arnage. That Porsche is not as quick as the Ferrari, but it's very wide.
I guarantee there was a radio message going, he hit me, he hit me. Yeah, we saw it, Kevin. Yeah, here comes the Ferrari. He's got a run on Est. And a little bit of afters, and here we go again.
Back on the inside goes Est. He had the line for the corner. As I say, that might not be the quicker of the 2 cars, but Kevin Est has mega racecraft, and he is not going to give this up without a fight. He's also got that McLaren to sweep round the outside of. Job done. Ferrari goes through as well. Pierre Guidi determined not to lose any time at all, and they're absolutely on the limit here.
Fabulous racing, Rob Bell. 2 super professional drivers right at the top of their game. And again, the reactions of their teammates in these situations are just so entertaining to watch.
Yeah, even I know both of them very well, and it's just drawing breath every time you see them. The way they pass the McLaren, they're just millimetres in it, and they look like they touched the lap before as well. They are going for it.
Yeah, because in the end, this might end up being a battle for gold, for victory.
Yeah.
You know, just as easily as the guys in the top 3, because they're on a slightly different fuel strategy, however the fortune falls. Again, look, Pierre Guidi all over the back of Estra. Estra's lacking traction, it seems to me. He's not getting off the corners, and Arnage was the classic example. You know, you lose more in a slow corner than you'll ever gain in a quick one. So out of the chicanes, out of Mulsanne corner, maybe out of Arnage, is it that the Ferrari's got that little bit more advantage? Don't forget, They're over 190 kph, which is out of most of these corners. The Ferrari's hybrid is driving the front wheel as well, so it's giving him a different sort of accelerative performance to the hybrid in the Porsche that's driving the rear only. But here he comes. He's going to be on the racing line, on the clean bit of the track, cuts across the nose of Kevin Est, and Alessandro Pierguidi moves up to 4th.
Yeah, I think that's just stint and a half old tyres, soft tyres on Kevin Estre compared to relatively 5-lap-old new medium tyres on Pierguidi. I think that's the difference between the two.
Stint, so no change there, of course. Down the pit road it comes.
So Molina in car 50, he only achieved 7 laps in this stint. So this isn't scheduled, this stop. This is because of the rain.
Yeah.
Also for Pierguidi, he's on 9 laps. So yeah, that's how Caddy have, because they were so out of sync, that's how they're on their scheduled stop. Now they're on the correct tyre for the conditions.
2, 8 and 5 were the 3 cars that were out of sync with the others from various weather-related incidents and so on. So now, again, this resets the field. 2 hours and 6 minutes. Basically, we've got a Grand Prix to run, and everybody is in for wet weather tyres, and they will all take fuel. So that will reset the whole field. Our top dozen cars who were previously in the same sector of the track.
They can't get the gun on, car 8.
Come on!
Oh, finally they're there, but big time lost. So having looked so strong this morning, number 8 Toyota losing valuable time, and you can't afford to do that. Just as we were saying, at this point it's all about not making errors, having reliability, and out of nowhere Toyota in trouble.
Oh no, there's an unsafe release, surely.
It is a penalty.
Well, he's let him go, he's let the LMP2 car go, but it might be too late because it had been released.
It was unsafe.
The P2 car had to jam the brakes on as well.
Right, so 50 gets a question mark.
They had, well, it's not a question mark, that's a definite. 50 to say, oh no, maybe that's what he might have been talking about.
Brendan Hartley's had a spin at Mulsanne corner, so the second place car goes around. He reverses out of harm's way, but let's see how many places, if any, are lost before he's got going again. Waits for a gap in the traffic, tries to get the car in the right direction. He's not moving yet.
No, he's looking at the marshals. He's looking for a sign from the marshals. He can't see what's coming down the straight.
Through the gravel because he's got no lock on the car. So Brendan Hartley rally crossing his way back onto the circuit, and that's a very concerned Sebastian Buemi now. Yellow flags then down at Mulsanne corner. They'll go in a moment because the Toyota is moving again, but a big amount of time lost. Let's see how he did it. Was there contact?
There was.
With 51 Ferrari then. So Alessandro Pierguidi up the inside. Another one maybe for the race control building.
Well, there was contact and somebody went round. Anthony, was that Brendan being ambitious?
Let's have a look from this shot.
Oh, it wasn't Brendan being ambitious, was it?
Hold on. Cause of contact, car 51.
Yep. So driver change. It is Antonio Fuoco handing over to Miguel Molina. Look how much smoke is pouring off the abused front of the number 83 car. Now, that's the car that's been having oil bomb top-ups, but that is more hot brakes than anything else.
That's very hot brakes.
You are allowed to have must have the fire extinguisher fireman in the pit lane when you're fueling. That is hot brakes. There may well be, well...
This is disastrous for the 83 car. Driver getting back out the car.
A year after their teammates claimed victory in the hypercar, and now they dare believe it's the final chicane. Niklas Nielsen has been rock solid, absolutely ironclad confidence. Miguel Molina, Antonio Fuoco in floods. Ferrari wins Le Mans. Second place across the line, Jose Maria Lopez, Toyota Gazoo Racing. And he hangs on to second, but what about Alessandro Pierguidi, the 51 Ferrari and the number 6 Porsche, 1.1 seconds apart, and Pierguidi hangs on to it and does not exceed track limits. A crucial podium for Ferrari and for the 51 crew.
Fabulous scenes. raw emotion, disappointment for Tota. They fought hard, they fought valiantly. That was one hell of a motor race.
Well, Nick de Vries on his first Le Mans podium. He will take second place.
We did it, mate! We did it! We won Le Mans! Again! Again! We won Le Mans again! Yeah! Cool down lap! Cool down lap! Wait 51 for the parade! Wait 51 for the parade! You're incredible, man!
Well, I'm glad it's not just us that have got dust in our eyes.